What's up, Dragon Brood? So today it looks like we got the last of the cards, so we have a full set of 281, I think is what's out right now. I want to say though, if you are a member of the channel, first off, if you're not a member, check out the join button. You can support the channel for as little as 99 cents a month. However, if you are a member of the channel, keep an eye on the messages because there will be something going out for you this week that I will definitely need your feedback on in how it relates to New Capenna. That said, there's going to be a lot of commons, I think, on today's list of cards. That's usually what happens on the final day. But I don't know what all to expect, so we're going to keep an open mind, and we're going to review the last of the cards that came out today for Streets of New Capenna. If you're looking for quality binders, sleeves, dice, deck boxes, or other supplies, be sure to check out Ultra Pro's Smoke Gray collection this month over at shop.ultrapro.com/PowrDragn and use promo code PowrDragn to save 5%. Alright, we're starting with Swooping Protector, 3 colorless and a white for a 2/1 flash flying when it enters the battlefield with a shield counter on it. Yeah, this is fine. It costs 4, so you're really not going to play this in 60 card Magic, but this is a totally reasonable card to play or draft in limited formats. Broker's Initiate, a 0/4 cat citizen, 4 colorless and a blue or green mana. Broker's Initiate has base power and toughness, 5/5 till the turn. Yep, we're probably not playing this one. Okay, now this one I have seen for 2 reasons. 1, people were losing their minds over it on Twitter, and 2, the Commander RC came in, raided my stream last night, and they actually showed this card off. So, Lagrela the Magpie. It's a green, a white, and a blue for a 2/3 legendary creature human soldier. When Lagrela the Magpie enters the battlefield, exile any number of other target creatures controlled by different players until Lagrela leaves the battlefield. When an exiled card enters the battlefield under your control this way, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Yeah, so I think the confusion here on this card is that people read this as like, oh, I could cast the card that is exiled, but no, that's not how it works at all. What this is saying is it can do what Brutal Cathar or the Apparition or whatever does, right? Like you can exile a creature. However, with this one, in a 2-player game, you can remove 1 from the opponent and 1 from yourself because it's 2 creatures controlled by different players. Then if Lagrela dies, when your creature comes back, it comes back with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Now in Commander, this does mean that you could take 4 of them or 5 of them, however many people you're playing with in your group. You can take 1 from every player. But you get the option of getting the +2/+2 counters when it comes back into play. Theirs do not. Now, does this get played over something like Brutal Cathar or not? I don't know. It's also a human. And there is an upside to potentially protecting one of your own creatures, right? You may not even want to remove one of theirs if you think they may have, I don't know, a Doomscar or Meathook Masker or whatever. You might just put your biggest creature under Lagrela and then just say, okay, cool, you remove the board, I get this thing back and it gets 2 counters. So there's a little bit of a defensive measure to it in the way you can use it versus how something like a Cathar works. But I don't know, I think it's a neat card. It's only an uncommon, so you won't have a big investment in it, but it's at least worth discussion. And it's not nearly as confusing as you think it is if you read it a second or third time. Most Wanted, which almost sounds like a red or a black card, but 2 colorless and a green, flash, enchant creature gets +1 or +2/+1, and when it dies, create 2 treasure tokens. This is, I mean, at least in limited formats it's playable. In Constructed, I don't think this is what we're looking for. Ominous Parcel. Okay. 1 colorless. This art, is that, or did Obnixilis deliver the horns of the other dude that he killed? If so, that's pretty effed up. But, you know, mob boss stuff. It's like a horse head, I guess. It's an artifact for 1 colorless. Pay 2 and tap it. Sacrifice the parcel. Search the library for a basic land card. Reveal it. Put it on the battlefield. Or put it into your hand, then shuffle. Or you can pay 5 and tap it and sacrifice it. It deals 4 damage to target creature. Now, I will say this. This is the type of card that if you like playing artifacts that fetch land to help you out, this is actually a reasonable card. However, having the upside that, you know, let's say you draw this on turn 8, 9, 10 and don't really need it, being able to shoot something for 4 is actually kind of nice. So, as odd as that is, it's actually kind of a cool little card. Now, I don't know how often I would use it, but if I was going to play an artifact that let me fetch basics, I might consider this. Giada, Font of Hope. Oh, Giada actually showed up in flavor text earlier in this preview season. Colorless and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature angel. Flying, vigilance. Each other angel you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it for each angel you already control. Ooh. And then you can also, for some reason, tap this, add a white, spin this only to cast angel spells. Wow. Wow. This might be the card that angel decks were looking for in standard. Like, it's a 2 mana, 2/2 vigilant flying angel. So it fills the gap. Because one of the problems you had is there wasn't much to play on turn 1, 2, or 3 in the angel decks. You were kind of playing non-angels just to supplement what you were planning to do. That said, getting to put a +1/+1 counter on each future angel for the number of angels you control is pretty sick. Honestly, this even benefits itself because if you have a second Giada you want to play on like turn 4 or 5 after you've already played a couple more angels, you get a 5/5 Giada. Yeah, like, and just scrap your old one. So yeah, this card's really good. Seriously, this card's really good. Like, just a 2/2 flying vigilance and the ability to spend mana on more angels is kind of cool. I like this card. Goldhound, 1 red, 1/1, first strike, menace. It's a treasure dog, and it has menace, and you can tap it to sacrifice it, add 1 mana of any color. This feels like it has to be playable. Like, this is better than some other 1-drops we play with right now, right? I mean, it's just straight up 1/1 for 1, first strike menace, so it's going to be hard for your opponent to deal with for a couple turns. If you have anything that pumps your creatures, it becomes literally a menace. And then you could also use it to ramp up. So in those games where you sometimes have trouble casting Thundering Raiju or Goldspan Dragon, right? Like, this makes it that much easier, and you get to beat down with it early on. Like, I'm kind of into this. I don't know where it goes yet, but I think I'm gonna do some experimenting with this one. Extract the Truth, colorless and a black for a sorcery. Choose 1. Target opponent reveals their hand. You can choose a creature, enchantment, or planeswalker card from it. That player discards a card, or target opponent sacrifices an enchantment. This seems reasonable. This might be just a like, if you're already playing a discard deck, but you want to have some ways to get rid of enchantments, this could work. Sky Crier, colorless and a white for a bird citizen, 1/1 flying lifelink. You and target opponent each draw a card. I almost liked this till I got to the activated ability. I mean, I guess there's a world where you might, and maybe some citizen deck wants a flying lifelinker, but unless that's the case, we're probably not playing this card. Corrupt Court Official. Man, somebody should get a bunch of these and just drop them off at their local post office. Or at their local courthouse. I don't know why I said post office, but maybe they would deliver it to the courthouse. Corrupt Court Official, colorless and a black, 1/1. Human Advisor. When Corrupt Court Official enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. Meh, we have a bunch of different versions of this already. Prize Fight, colorless and a green, instant. Target creature you control fights target creature you don't control. Create a treasure token. Not the best version of this we could have. We have some now where our creatures could deal damage without taking damage. Those are probably preferred. Plus, you still have Blizzard Brawl. So, yeah. Again, limited play, fine. Anything else, you probably don't want it. Expendable Lackey. Human Citizen, 1/1. Pay a blue and 1. Exile Expendable Lackey from the graveyard. Create a 1/1 blue fish creature token with this creature can't be blocked. Activate only as a sorcery. Again, I think this is fine and limited. I can't see a world where the citizen decks are going to want to be heavy in blue. Yeah, not really feeling it, though the ability itself isn't bad. Bouncer's Beatdown, 2 colorless and a green instant. This spell costs 2 less to cast if it targets a black permanent. Bouncer's Beatdown deals X damage to target creature or planeswalker, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. If that creature or planeswalker would die this turn, exile it instead. So this is almost like a small time burn spell for creatures or planeswalkers. It is an instant. You get it cheaper against black decks, so you get to play it for 1. But you get to exile something as well. I don't think this is really playable, but again, sideboard action definitely has a spot. So we'll see. I'm not going to say we're never going to see this in constructed play. I think we will. Cutthroat Contender, 1 black, 1/1, Vampire Warrior, pay 1 life. Cutthroat Contender gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Activate only once each turn. Meh, I think we just have better small things we can play right now. Sticky Fingers, 1 red, enchantment aura, enchant creature. Enchanted creature has menace, and whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token. When enchanted creature dies, draw a card. Okay. This is reasonable. Honestly, this could just straight up go into a lot of red decks, right? Like you put on a creature, your creature gains menace, so it's harder to block. You connect, you get treasure. If your creature dies anyway at some point, you get a card. This thing's actually not bad. Not bad. Now where it goes, I don't know, but I feel like there's got to be a use for this. We just got to figure it out. Exhibition Magician, 2 colorless and a red. For a human wizard 2/1, when it enters the battlefield, choose 1, create a 1/1 green and white citizen creature token, or create a treasure token. That's actually kind of nice. Like, again, I don't know if this is one I'm really going to play in constructed, but I like the idea of pay 3, get a 2/1 and a 1/1, or get a 2/1 and a treasure. It's actually not bad. But, again, probably not playing it in 60 card formats unless you're trying to do something very specific where either of these abilities can be useful. Gathering Throng, 2 colorless and a white, 3/1 human citizen. When Gathering Throng enters the battlefield, you can search your library for any number of cards named Gathering Throng, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle. Now this, for the citizen decks, could be a thing you want to play, right? Pay 3, get a 3/1, and then you go get the other copies and put them in your hand. That seems pretty good, even if you just want to have them as backup for sweepers. I think this is fine. Paragon of Modernity, 4 colorless, Angel Warrior, 2/2, flying, pay 3, and this card gets +1/+1 to end of turn. If exactly 3 colors of mana were spent, put a +1/+1 counter on it instead. 2/2 seems very blah, which is why you probably won't play this. It likely doesn't go into the Angel decks either, because at 4 mana, I feel like you're probably going to find something else you want to do. Yeah, this feels like a somewhat reasonable card with a cool piece of artwork that may not end up with a home. Quick Draw Dagger, 3 colorless, equipment, flash. When Quick Draw Dagger enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control. That creature gains first strike. Equipped creature gets +1/+1. You can pay 1 to equip it. I mean, this is mostly going to be fine when you're already trying to stay ahead, or I don't know. We're probably not playing this. I mean, I like the idea that it gives your creature first strike and it can be tricky and all that, but I feel like we're playing equipment. We can just do better. All right, Capenna Express. 3 colorless and a green for a 6/6 vehicle. Sacrifice a treasure. Capenna Express becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. Crew 3. Ooh. Alright, so this just says sacrifice a treasure. This becomes a creature. So you can get a 4 mana 6/6. So there are infinite ways to make treasure right now. Ooh, this could end up being very good. This could end up being very good. It's awkward because it does cost 4, and we already know if you're playing 4 and you're playing vehicles, you're likely going to be playing the Chariot. But in the right vehicle deck, this could do something. Fake Your Own Death. Colorless and a black for an instant. Till in the turn, target creature +2/+0. When this creature dies, return it to the battlefield, then you get it. We have multiple versions of this too, and those don't hardly get played. This one's better because it gives you a treasure, but that's about it. Alright, Revelation of Power. 1 colorless and a white for an instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If it has a counter on it, it also gains flying and lifelink. This could be useful if we are playing something with enough counters, enough shield counters, whatever. This being able to get lifelink and flying and +2/+2 for 2 mana, that's a lot of stuff you're shoving onto a card that could make this borderline playable. Not saying we'd lean on it necessarily, but at least worth considering. Glittermonger, 3 colorless and a green for a 1/4. Tap it, create a treasure token. Well, it's an elf rogue that just makes a treasure. That's the thing. It does cost 4, so it's not the most exciting thing. If I have a deck that's just hardcore on the treasure, do I play 1 or 2? Maybe not. Maybe not, but it's at least worth considering. When Backup Agent enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. It's a 1/1. Nah, not that excited by this. All right, I think at this point I'm gonna start skipping over some of the cards because some of them are just like basically reprints or versions of things we already have that we already know aren't that great. So I will just try to highlight other cards as we race to the finish here. But we have Kill Shot. It's 2 colorless and a white for an instant destroy target attacking creature. This is obviously quality for limited, but these types of cards do pop up from time to time in Constructed, so you may want to keep your eye on it. Backstreet Bruiser. A colorless and a blue for a 3/3 Cephalid Rogue Defender. As long as there are 2 or more counters among creatures you control, Backstreet Bruiser can attack as though it didn't have Defender. There's going to be a lot of random counters. This could potentially be the card people want to play. Maybe it's in some blue, black, red aggressive thing. I don't know. But it's at least worth considering when it's a 3/3 for 2 that can very likely attack. Majestic Metamorphosis. 2 colorless and a blue. Instant until end of turn, target artifact or creature becomes a 4/4 artifact angel and gains flying. Draw a card. This is alright. Turn a thing into a 4/4, draw a card for 3 mana. Again, if there's some heavy aggressive whatever deck, this might want that. Demon's Due. 3 colorless and a black. Instant scry 2. Then draw 2 cards. You lose 2 life. This is like the black version of Behold the Multiverse. Scry 2, draw 2, but then you lose 2 life because of it. Obviously doesn't have Foretell because that was a set mechanic. This might be able to be played. Maybe. Antagonize. A colorless and a red. Instant. Target creature gets +4/+3 till end of turn. This is a real amount. Like, I mean, like normally you see these types of cards and it's like +3/+0 or +2/+1, draw a card, something like that. But straight up +4/+3 means not only do you get to deal damage, you're probably going to survive it as well. If you have something with trample, that's a big deal. You know, your opponent lets a random creature through to, you know, the 1 point to a planeswalker or whatever. You can finish it off with this. You can also use it on defense. That's something we've seen that you can't do with a lot of these in red. They're often for like an attacking creature. So yeah, this card, man, this is the type of card that I don't think is great, but it's going to blow me out and kill me in some game down the road for sure. For the family, 1 green instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control 4 or more creatures, that creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Again, I think if we're going wide or we're playing a token deck or whatever, this is practically guaranteed to be a 4/4. Obviously not always, but a high percentage of the time, this could be playable for just 1 green. Warm Welcome, 2 colorless and a green instant. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature from them, put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Create a 1/1 green-white citizen creature token. You know what's funny? Sometimes you play these types of cards and then you fail and you don't get anything. However, here, you at least get a creature. But really, you make a 1/1 and then you get to take another creature card, put it in your hand. I don't know how many decks we've actually played this type of ability with in the past. Now, admittedly, there's the various versions of the commune with whatevers. The 1 green mana that you play as a sorcery, you can play those on turn 1 or 2 and really like those. I don't think this is that much better than those, but again, for the context and being able to get another 1/1 token, and maybe that token triggers a bunch of alliance things or something, like, maybe. Gilded Pinions. It's a 2 colorless equipment artifact. When Gilded Pinions enters the battlefield, create a treasure token. Equipped creature has flying. Equip 2. It's fine. Like, it's neat. It does what it does. It generates treasure. But we're not that excited about it. Alright, I also want to note that the last 2 cards were 2 of the basics that search for one of the 3 colors of the family. We just got the last 2 of those. So, yeah. This was kind of a good last day drop. Some stuff that was playable, fills in some gaps in a couple of decks. Stuff that's just generally going to end up being useful. There's a lot of reprints and simple stuff that obviously are just going to be filler for limited. But now overall, I feel like we have a really good feel for everything, obviously, and I'm looking pretty forward to deck construction. Why don't you let me know down in the comments, like, let me know 2 things. 1, what is your favorite card that's been previewed so far? Or actually been previewed, because you see the whole set. But then what is also the card you're looking most to see a deck built around? I think that would be interesting information for me. And again, if you are a channel member, be sure to check your messages, because there will be something coming through that I will need your input to help make some content for New Capenna. And if you're not already a member, please check out the join button and support. It would be awesome. Otherwise, remember to like the video, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, hit that notification bell, and remember to choose all notifications so you don't miss any of the cool videos I do have coming out over the next, 10 days or so for New Capenna, waiting for the set to go live. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time.